Hello, beautiful people of YouTube. So today we're going to be doing an old favorite that just got remastered and re-released. I honestly have not played it since it first premiered on the PlayStation 1. And I will agonizingly admit I never actually got to finish the game because of the stupid fucking block puzzles and the fact that the maps were as convoluted as fuck. So I am going to be going back in time to the PlayStation 1 with Legacy of Kain's Soul Reaver. Amazing voice talent in this game. I will be having the new graphics on, as opposed to the classic. And, yeah, we'll see how this does, because, yeah, this is a real retro blast from my past, and I hope you enjoy watching. So, this is the new graphics, this is the old graphics. Little bit of a noticeable difference. And this load screen used to freak a bunch of people out when the game was loading. But fun fact, you see the one on the top right. These are all the vampires, or a little teaser about what happened of the people who these vampires were before they were turned. And you can tell the one at the top right has blue eyes and no lower jaw because it is representing our protagonist, Raziel. So these are all of the brothers, and in the top, in the middle, is Kain, who the franchise is named after. So I think this is a beautiful launching off point to get into the game. But yeah, each one goes from human to vampire, and I just thought that was really neat as a kid. If not, mildly traumatic.
Kain is deified. The clans tell tales of him. Few know the truth. He was mortal once, as were we all. However, his contempt for humanity drove him to create me and my brethren. I am Raziel, firstborn of his lieutenants.
PS1 goth boyfriend.
And my brethren at the dawn of the Empire. I have served him a millennium. Over time, we became less human and more divine. Kain would enter the state of change and emerge with a new gift. Some years after the Master, our evolution would follow. Until I had the honor of surpassing my lord. For my transgression, I earned a new kind of reward. Agony. There was only one possible outcome. My eternal damnation. I, Raziel, was to suffer the fate of traitors and weaklings, to burn forever in the bowels of the Lake of the Dead.
Cast him in.
Tumbling, burning with white-hot fire, I plunged into the depths of the abyss. Unspeakable pain, relentless agony. Time ceased to exist. Only this torture and a deepening hatred of the hypocrisy that damned me to this hell. An eternity passed, and my torment receded. Bringing me back from the precipice of madness.
Nice butt, Raziel.
The descent had destroyed me, and yet I lived.
I know you, Raziel. You are worthy.
What madness is this? What pitiful form is this that I have come to inhabit? Death would be a release next to this travesty.
You did not survive the abyss, Raziel. I have only spared you from total dissolution.
I would choose oblivion over this existence.
The choice is not yours.
I am destroyed.
You are reborn. The birth of one of Kain's abominations traps the essence of life. It is this soul that animates the corpse you lived in. And that, Raziel, is the demise of Nosgoth. There is no balance. The souls of the dead remain trapped. I cannot spin them in the wheel of fate. They cannot complete their destinies. Redeem yourself. Or if you prefer, avenge yourself. Settle your dispute with Kain. Destroy him and your brethren. Free their souls and let the wheel of fate churn again. Use your hatred to reave their souls. I can make it possible. Become my soul reaver, my angel of death.
So we all know that voice as the legendary Tony J, who is sadly no longer with us, as the Elder God. I do, however, hate that you get to see the Elder God in the opening cutscene, and then you're in an entirely different room later. You still get to see the tentacles, but, you know, you got to see the face of the Elder God there for a minute. But I assume they think that most of us have already played this, so know the story. Between cutscenes, I guess I will fill you guys in on lore, if in case you haven't played this game before. At this point, there was only one precursor game called just Legacy of Kain Blood Omen, and it was the story of Kain, who you saw in the cutscene, and his descent to being a vampire. But first,
These gates twist space, laying a path across great spans.
fast travel, in other words. Yeah, we don't need to engage just yet. And again, just for posterity's sake, new graphics, old graphics. Now this is the one I remember, so a little bit of an upgrade, despite his foot clipping through the platform there. So in the first game, Blood Omen, you are playing as Kain as he traverses, you know, ancient Nosgoth. And at some point, he gets completely... Oh, hang on.
You are weak. You must feed.
The old hunger has left me. I have no desire for blood.
You are changed. Your bloodthirst is replaced by a deeper need. You have become a devourer of souls. To sustain your strength, you must hunt the lost spirits of the underworld and consume the souls of your enemies.
So yeah, Raziel has no lower jaw. And just pulls open his shawl to absorb souls. Alright, we're at full health again. So yes, at one point in Kain's traversal, he just gets completely overrun by bandits. It's a story plot point, there is no avoiding it. But it's like 7 guys just out of nowhere bum rush you and boom, dead. So it's kind of a fuck you for the game devs, but you know, it does kind of bring the story to where it needs to go. And it's... oh, another cutscene.
Your wings, though ruined, are not without purpose. Take hold of them as you leap, and they will carry you across this chasm.
So we can glide. Ta-da! So yes, Kain is at the decision where he is made vampire, and he reaches the Pillars of Fate, and the question is, do you martyr yourself so Nosgoth can thrive? Or do you go about destroying all the pillars and making Nosgoth the haven for the vampire clan, breed, race, species? So, if you're playing the game as it is intended, you're of course going to murder all the people who are the avatars for the pillars and make Nosgoth Vampire Haven. But cutscene.
What scabrous wretches are these?
Slua, the scavengers of the underworld. Their feral hunger has claimed countless souls, spirits who now shall never find their rest.
And then you eat them. And then all the other souls just so, a fuck you. So, yeah, you play through, you kill all the avatars, and, well, shit, I need disciples now. And that will kind of lead us to Soul Reaver. And, just... The first game was very interesting, very fun, but, it was an old PS1 title. It was limited in graphics, but it was a cool story, lots of cool traps, lots of cool enemies, and really solidified the lore for this game. But most of us...
Those are your conduit between the spectral and material realms. With their aid, you may gather matter and will yourself to become manifest in the physical world. This is taxing, however. Your strength must first be fully restored. You require no conduit to return to this plane. You may abandon your physical body at any time.
Most of us started playing Soul Reaver and actually never played the first game well until, well after we'd reached this point. Okay, that's where I came up. Just remembering if there's any gates or anything. I can't go through there yet. Alright.
Sustain your strength to prolong your manifestation in the physical world. If you fail to feed or absorb too many wounds, this fragile matter will dissolve.
Yeah, you'll notice in the cutscenes a lot, Raziel kind of has a chicken head that, kind of bops around. But, that's just Raziel.
You are young yet, Raziel. You still retain many of your vampiric weaknesses. Immersion in water, while not fatal, will dissolve your physical body, forcing your return to the spirit world. Be aware that in the spectral realm, water has neither heft nor lift. It stands as thin as air.
Yeah, your toes are allowed to graze the water, but if you fall in, you go back to the spirit world.
What are these creatures?
Do you not recognize them? They are the children of your brother, Duma.
That's impossible. These foul, scuttling beasts could not be kin of our high blood?
Do you suppose that time stood still for you, Raziel? Much has changed since you passed from the world of men.
I knew my opponent's weaknesses, having suffered them myself. Physical wounds are fleeting. Vampire's immortal flesh begins to close as soon as it is cleaved. Vampires need only fear those wounds that impale or inflame. Water scorches like acid, and fledglings are devastated by sunlight's touch. I would have to modify my tactics to suit my foes.
No, I'm an asshole, so... what you do is you put your back in the corner here. And let them set themselves on fire.
Creature's soul fades swiftly into the spectral realm.
And that's just the mechanic of the more you're in the physical plane, your health slowly goes down. I guess that soul's gone now. Come on, buddy. So yeah, the more you're in the physical plane, the more you are prone to just... Come on. Come on. Come on. Gimme. Come on. Come on. Attack me. Come on. Nice dance, but come and attack me. So yeah, you can see that my health is slowly deteriorating the more I'm in this plane because, yeah. Come on. Come on, attack me. Come on. There you go. Thank you. So yeah, that's the way I like to fuck with those guys.
Your physical prowess surpasses what you knew in life. Even massive obstacles can be moved effortlessly.
Fucking block puzzles. So yeah, and no physics on the corpse. He just lays there. So yeah, Legacy of Kain was notorious for just a fuck ton of block puzzles. And sometimes it is quite difficult to guide Raziel, especially when you're doing beam puzzles. So yeah, not that this game is perfect, but it is a lot of fun.
The sanctuary of the clans reduced to ruin. Beyond these walls lay the pillars of Nosgoth, the seat of Kain's empire. How humble it now appeared, collapsing into the dust of its former magnificence. And yet, I had only just emerged. In the instant between my execution and resurrection, centuries had apparently passed.
This world is wrecked with cataclysms. The earth strains to shrug off the pestilence of Kain's parasitic empire. The fate of this world was preordained in an instant by a solitary man. Unwilling to martyr himself to restore Nosgoth's balance, Kain condemned the world to the decay you see. In that moment, the unraveling began. Now it is nearly played out. Nosgoth teeters on the brink of collapse. Its fragile balance cannot hold.
So, yeah, that's, in essence, the big shit that happens. Now, I don't have to fight these guys. So I'm not. I'm running through. And I know there's a guy just around the corner up there, but we're gonna open this gate first. Alright, gate activated. So yeah, the man who was unwilling to murder himself obviously is the Elder God talking about Kain in the last game. Where yeah, if you play it properly, you don't murder yourself. You kill the vampire who made you, therefore, you're the last vampire, so either you can create a new haven for vampires, or condemn them to all die out, and you choose to make yourself your own little vampire haven.
This, at least, had remained constant. The endlessly swirling vortex of the abyss. My tomb and the womb of my rebirth. Though much of Nosgoth's landscape had changed, these cliffs gave me my bearings. My clan territory was to the west. I was anxious to see how my descendants had fared during the centuries of my absence.
Now I am curious, was it just me, or did other people do what I did and literally just jump back into the abyss just for shits and giggles. We do have to come back here anyway, so I'm going to leave that alone for the time being, but we are going to go to Raziel's clan's home to see what has become of that. And I should kill a vampire because my health is getting... Now, fun thing, if you don't eat their soul immediately, the body does not dissolve, and the second you pull that spear back out, they will kill you. Now, I was lucky in my first playthrough. The other guy got locked and just stayed where he was. I'm just gonna jump up here, get safe, and then eat a soul. Stop interrupting my devouring. So now... Oh, it took my spear. Well, good thing. I have another one. So yeah, you can pick them up, you can toss them into fire. There's no spikes on the walls here, so you can't really cast them in, but you recognize the symbol there. It is the inverted symbol on Raziel's cloak. I've seen a bunch of people with that tattooed.
From this world like excrement from a boot. I knew the hand that wrought this deed.
Yeah, Kain's a prick. And... see if I can separate them, but no. So, we see how my preferred method of fighting. Stab, eat soul, grab spear again, stab other guy. You can also grab pots and stun them. We don't want to go that way just yet. Yeah, there are still some glitches in the programming, but we forgive that. This is a PS1 game, again. So we now have the Underworld, the Lake of the Dead, and now we are at Raziel's clan ancestral home, and yet we now have the Malkaya's territory is next. Now, a lot of people do have very fond memories of the score of this game. So you can tell, like, the music is pretty intense, which is fun. And luckily for this first battle, I really know my way through. Not gonna bother with you. If I remember correctly, the other way is just led to a water area, and I can't really go that way. There's nothing down there. Oh, fuck you. Now I need the health. Luckily, for sakes of just convenience, these guys generally don't follow you out in places. So you don't really have to worry about guys sneaking up the back steps at you. There it is. But yeah, even if there is secrets around here, we can't get them.
No! Please!
I didn't recognize these flayed racks of flesh. Their scent was vampiric. They gnawed upon their victim's carcass like dogs.
So they are called Makayam, after your little brother Malchiah. I see you. Yeah, since there's no XP in this game, there really is no point.
This charnel house bore the unmistakable marks of Malchiah's clan. To what depths had our dynasty plummeted if these ghouls were the descendants of my high-born brother? Were they so debased as to recruit fledglings from the desiccated corpses here interred?
So there's no point in killing these guys. Like, there's no XP system. It's easier just to run past them unless they do that. Cool, I killed him just by having a block there. And thank you for upping my health. I guess there's a bonus for flipping a block over on one. But, you know, we weren't in the middle of flipping, he just happened to pop up in the right place.
My brother Malchiah was made last, and therefore received the poorest portion of Kain's gift. Although immortal, his soul could not sustain the flesh, which retained much of its previous human frailty. This weakness, it seemed, was passed on to his offspring. Their fragile skins barely contained the underlying decay.
As he's scratching his ass. So the controller actually vibrates whenever one of them is underground and coming after you. And these guys are just dumb enough to run right into the sunlight after you. So these guys clearly are not difficult. But I just wanted the souls. Alright, we've got Malchiah's gate now, and this is the first room where you actually have a passage on the other side. Because that is where you're meant to go. Now this part, I cannot guarantee I'm going to do smoothly. Okay. Yep, that's right under where it needs to be. Because, like I said, sometimes controlling Raziel is a bit of a pain in the ass. But I just made a liar out of myself. We did that just fine. Fuck off, buddy. You do not match wits with my high-born blood. But again, yeah, it's just easier to breeze past those guys. They don't really do anything besides annoy you and eat up time. So, just for the sake of a good playthrough, we're just breezing past this bullshit. So this is the mechanic of... There are some feats where you need to... I'm gonna drop this. You have to go into the spectral realm to get to the next area, and to do so, I'm going to demonstrate here.
Beware, Raziel. These wraiths are vampire spirits, fettered too long in the spectral realm. When their vampire natures adapt to this plane, they become eaters of souls. Do not allow these spirits to re-inhabit their corpses.
So these guys are a pain in the ass. Not only because they float, and you can't really get a good attack on them, Because they will also eat your soul. So it's just easier to eat them now. So yeah, these do not come out unless you are in the spectral realm. If I miss this jump, we'll see that. Nope, okay. Because yeah, in the original version of the game, you couldn't just fall off ledges like that. You either had to run or jump down. And that gave a lot of leeway to just falling off the edge. And block puzzles, and block puzzles, and block puzzles. And another fucking block puzzle. Now, I don't remember if you can just literally flip it up the side here or not. I know what they want you to do is to go down here. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna play it the way the game wants you to play it. Don't do your little sassy stance with me. Okay, got that back. Give me my staff back. So all of these little dirt piles at some point will be one of these assholes. So we're just gonna keep the stick. Luckily, only one came up. Your fucking Muppet scream. Nope, flip it. Thank you. So again, I might have done this a couple of times. Because getting to Melchiah was never a problem for me. It was getting to Zephyr, or Zephin, was the problem. Because, like, the second you get the ability to walk through gates, spoiler, I'm sorry, the world opens up completely and you're like, fuck, where do I go? So, we now have that open. Now we need to waste another spear. Souls? I hear you. You're stuck under the floor, thank you. Okay. So yeah, Raziel does kind of like to take off with a lot of chutzpah. So yeah, sometimes he can be a little hard to control, especially yeah, on those beam puzzles. So since we opened this side, we're gonna just run over here. And get over here. So that's how you beat the puzzle, and that's how you get out. Now, here's the fun part. We've got these holes here. 2 blocks. And only one of them is facing the correct direction. Whatever will we do? First of all, we're not going to push the block so it drops on us. We're going to push that off. Click that into place. And now we need to turn it around. Now it's facing the correct direction. And off we go with our torch. Which this part lights up anyway, so there's really no need to use the torches for light. But they're also good for vampire killing, so. And if this looks familiar, we're back to where we started. So we're just gonna move this over. No. No. Raziel, crouch. Thank you. And we get out of the rain. Fuck off. Don't have time for your bullshit. Yes, you're underground, I know. Again, don't got time for your bullshit. These guys are fun, because despite how small this is, they'll still walk into it. No one said these guys were smart. And I just like fucking with them. This guy can take a bit, but he will eventually walk into the fire. And he tries to be smart. He tries to get around it. Come on. Come on. Come get me. Come on. Come on. Thank you. Idiot. So for being a vampire and killing other vampires, I can be kind of a dick. Okay, so this is the next puzzle room. So before we do anything, we're going to need to go underground. And get the generators going. I think it's this way. We'll get to see a fun little tidbit. I'm not taking that out. So there's a guy with a crossbow up there. And since we didn't... Oddly enough, I didn't see him in the last area, but since we did not kill or harm the bounty hunter, humans now worship us for being the only merciful vampire. So I'm not going to fuck that up. I'm going to ride high on this little ego boost that I have saved one man. Therefore, all of man worships me. That doesn't feed into my ego at all. Oh, that's right. There's lever. Where the fuck's the lever? Oh, all the way over there. It's on this wall. So, I wonder what the problem is. I wish there was a sprint button. I really wish there was a sprint button. We've now powered up the elevator. Now, we could have gone back to our little warship buddy, but we came that way, we're gonna go the other way. Up we go. We are gonna need to kill somebody soon because we're getting low on health. But yeah, this puzzle now starts to move. There are spears on the walls, right? Yeah. My controller is shaking, which means there's a vampire around. Before we do anything, we need to pull this out and go into this little hidey hole. So you see the symbol there. And we see these. So that symbol down there is a hint for us that we need to bring something to us. Oh, those PS1 fire graphics. Now, funny enough, I actually can hear the vampires above us in the next area. I'm just going to put that there for preparation. Yeah, I can see Raziel looking up because that's where the enemies are. Which is good because we're going to need their souls after this. Last timber. Now, the funny part is I am actually playing this from memory. I did not look up any walkthroughs, guides, tips, hints, anything like that. This is just pure muscle memory of when I played this back in, what was it, 2002? No, it was earlier than that. It must have been like 1998. And yeah, really enjoyed playing it, but never got too far. So I just enjoyed fucking around and having fun. I like how the vampires are still upstairs and have not come down yet. But yeah, that was the only way that you knew you were doing things right, was that little click, click, when you would put something in the correct spot. I'll shut up so you can hear it. So yeah, back when you originally played it, all you got to know that you were doing anything right was that little click, click. And that was it. You were left on your own to fuck around with those puzzles for hours and have no idea what the hell you were doing. And here's our first boss. Now, it'd be ironic if I could beat the first boss with half my health.
Show yourself, creature.
Do you not recognize me, brother? Am I so changed?
Melchiah?
Yes, brother. You should have stayed where the master sent you, Raziel. You will find Nosgoth less pleasant. then you remember.
What has become of my clan? Answer me, little brother, or I will beat an answer from your horrid lips.
Everyone is afraid, sibling. You awake to a world of fear. These times of change are so unsettling.
Whatever you say,
You
feet
think
fingers.
I feel no revulsion for this form. Do you believe for a moment that our Lord would risk his empire upon an upstart inheritance?
Enough riddles. What are you saying?
You are the last to die.
So this took me for freaking ever to figure out when I was playing this. Like, this, again, is before the era of strat guides. They existed, I just had no access to them. And the internet was not a great place for figuring stuff out on your own, because a lot of the online walkthroughs usually had, like, you know, convoluted bullshit attached to it, and it was really hard to figure out a good strat guide, because everybody was writing them, and not all of them were really clear. So as you can see, Maokai can just pass through gates. And that's kind of what we need. But we can't just go straight to his throne room, he'll just cut by. So we need to go back to the entrance. And wait for his big slow ass to make it. Oh, are they just going to give it to us that he's trapped now? It used to be you had to wait and lure him through, but okay, he seems to be trapped.
Where can I find Kain?
The master is beyond your reach, Raziel. He makes himself known when he sees fit, not when commanded.
Ever wonder what happened when you put a vampire in a blender? Fratricide!
You have done well, Raziel.
Am I reduced to this? A ghoul? A fratricide?
Elevated, Raziel, not reduced. Consuming Melchiah's soul has endowed you with a new gift. Insubstantial barriers such as these are no impediment to you in the spectral realm. Will yourself to pass through, and you shall.
So now it's my ability to pass through gates. But unfortunately you can't do it in the material plane. You have to switch back. Oh no, it was above. Just trying to remember where the portal to the material realm was, and it's like, oh shit, I don't remember anymore. There was one there, but the puzzle dropping blocked it. And no little vampire friends here. So yeah, those mounds, the Malkim, or yeah, the Malkame vampires will just pop out of. And where the fuck's my portal? Well, you know what? I would have to go back to the astral plane anyways to do something, so I'm just going to stay in the spirit world and get my first piece of...
Return to the sanctuary of the clans, Raziel. Melchiah's soul has endowed you with the means to gain entry. Beware, however. This hollow derelict is abandoned, but not uninhabited.
Thank you, Elder God. So there is a fun little piece down here. Nope, not that one, this one. That's best to grab now.
These artifacts enhance your stamina, enabling you to prolong your material manifestation. Gather 5 to complete the emblem, and thereby augment your strength.
So we need 5 of those, and we can extend our little spiral in the corner. I can't remember if this is the way through or not. So we can't get here yet because we don't have a certain item. I forgot about that. But this is just a cool looking area, isn't it? But yeah, we can't. We can manifest here, but nothing will be open. So we're just going to pop back through here. Completely avoid the Slugga because we don't really need to deal with them. Sometimes they do just run away from you. And it's like, that's fine, fuck off. And then if this looks familiar, it's a bunch of water and some pillars. Nope. Press yelp. Get up there. This is where we had the block puzzle. I don't even know if we need to be in the physical realm here. Oh yeah, we do. We have to get through that door. Now, just to show you, I'm going to take a shortcut. I have now transcended space and time, and I'm back at the Lake of the Dead. Pardon me. Piss off, buddy. You as well. And I'm gonna wait for you to get nice and close to me, and you disappear now. So that's supposed to be your forced introduction to the pieces, but since I already knew where it was, I'd already gotten one. Is there a spear nearby? Might have to go in cold, but whatever. I just prefer to have weapons. Oops, didn't mean to throw him that far. In you go. It's an adult swim. It's open. Everybody in the pool. So that's the map, just because I haven't shown it yet. You know what? I'm just gonna run past these assholes. There's really no point. You go to the physical plane to go back to the spectral plane to go back to the physical plane. And that is essentially this game in a nutshell. It's just going back and forth between realms and hopefully figuring out the correct direction. So this is Kain's clan symbol. Music's gone up tempo again, which means important shit's gonna happen. And this doesn't really look like a door now, does it? But
Raziel. Kain. The abyss has been unkind. I am your creation, Kain. Now, as before, you criticize your own work. What have you done with my clan, degenerate? You have no right. What I have made, I can also destroy, child.
Damn you, Kain! You are not God! This act of genocide is unconscionable!
Conscience? You dare to speak to me of conscience? Only when you have felt the full gravity of choice should you dare question my judgment. Your lifespan is a flicker compared to the mass of doubt and regret that I have borne since Mortanius first turned me from the fight. To know that the fate of the world hangs dependent on the advisedness of my every deed? Can you even begin to conceive what action you would take in my position?
I would choose integrity, Kain.
Look around you, Raziel. See what has become of our empire. Witness the end of an age. The clans scattered to the corners of Nosgoth. This place has outlasted its usefulness. As have you.
The Soul Reaver, Kain's ancient blade, older than any of us and 1,000 times more deadly. The legends claimed that the blade was possessed and thrived by devouring the souls of its victims. For all our bravado, we knew what it meant when Kain drew the Soul Reaver in anger. It meant you were dead.
now this fight's a pain in the ass. We'll see if I can do it though. Oh, bullshit, I had him. Great, now I have to kill you. So that was bullshit. I had Kain. I was like a split second away from getting him. There is a trophy for acing this fight. Fuck you. So that's why I'm so mad. I was so close. So there is an epilepsy warning here. If you don't like flashing lights, don't watch.
The blade is vanquished. So it unfolds. And we are a step closer to our destinies.
I swore I saw a glint of satisfaction in Kain's eye when the Soul Reaver was destroyed. I did not understand the game that Kain was playing, but I knew the finishing move.
From this moment and ever afterward, you and this blade are inextricably bound. Soul Reaver and Reaver of Souls, your destinies are intertwined. destroying the sword, you have liberated it from its corporeal prison and restored it to its true form, a radiant blade, its energy unbound. No longer a physical blade, it can only manifest itself in the material realm when your strength is fully restored. Once manifest, it will sustain you.
What are you, little soul? Another of Kain's creatures come to taunt this bound specter.
I did not intend to disturb your rest.
Rest. A body is needed for sleep. Flesh and bones are required to recline. No, child. All I may do is watch and remember, ceaselessly conscious as this wretched world's history unfurls. Ghastly past, insufferable future, are they one and the same? Am I always here?
How have you come to haunt these pillars?
Kain refused the sacrifice. The Pillar of Balance, corrupted to its core, stands as a monument to his blind ambition. Now these pillars serve only to bind me here, my prison and eternal home, thanks to the avarice of your master, Kain.
That bastard can claim no allegiance from me.
Then we share a common foe, Raziel. Return here when you have need. Ariel remembers what others have forgotten.
So this is where we have to return when we have all the spirals and when we have soul forges. If we step on this icon,
Far in the eastern mountains, a stifled titan stands in mute surrender, unwilling host to a parasitic swarm.
Ariel will give us guidance of where we need to go next. So this is a very important part in the game, just because you will need to return here to ask questions. Because, yeah, Ariel is one of your guiding lights along with the Elder God. And she will show, or yeah, she'll only show up in the spirit plane, not the physical. But yeah, you can see what Ariel means by the Pillar of Balance corrupted to its core. You can see how it is a green as the other pillars are still white. Ariel was the former avatar of the Pillar of Balance, and that's why, since that pillar is not technically destroyed, it's corrupted, that she is bound to the Pillars of Nosgoth, each one representing an avatar that was killed by Kain in the original game. So it's fun that you have that little tie-in. But I think this is a good place to stop. We've encountered Kain, we've killed Malkaya, and we have found Ariel in the Pillars of Nosgoth. So until next time, like, comment, subscribe. I hope you've enjoyed watching as much as I've enjoyed making. And until next time, goodbye.